Ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back. This is Drew Sits with Time, joined by MJ Patek.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you. Hold the applause.
Thanks for having me over.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this is awesome. Your house is beautiful, and your neighborhood is awesome. And I don't come down these parts very often, but it's a beautiful area.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Does everybody that you know work for the tree company?
I know nobody that works for the tree company.
Okay.
Ironically enough, it's right across the street from me.
Yeah.
And I know not a single person that works there.
Okay. Have you seen like I don't think it's here, but there's like the mountain of wood chips and stuff off the side of the highway? Yeah.
So that place, every like 4 or 5 years, it'll blow up.
Really?
Because like a loose match or a gas leak or something, and all the mulch will just like flame.
Whoa. Yeah. How do you stop that? It's a tinderbox.
Yeah, it really is. It's the most flammable thing ever. So don't go smoking over there.
Literally, yeah. Some guy flicks a cigarette butt off the side of the highway. Oh my gosh. I just saw it pulling out. I'm like, oh, of course he's right here. But okay, MJ, introduce yourself to the people. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Yeah, my name is MJ Patek. I've been doing content for 12 years. I've been through so many stages of my life within content. Right now, my big thing is something called Protect the Youth, where I'm focusing on helping the younger generation live a better and greater life. Thank you. Something I see a lot in social media nowadays is like, okay, so this all started when I seen my 11-year-old cousins watching Clavicular.
Whoa.
And talking about the drugs that he does, and he's so cool, and he has a nightclub and gets all the baddest woman ever.
Whoa.
And I'm like, there's no good influence for these kids anymore. Like when I was
true.
growing up, I had like PewDiePie and like Van Oz Gaming, so I'd want to play video games all day. I didn't have people who were doing drugs all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. The worst thing, PewDiePie. Well, whatever.
Well, yeah, but I was a little older at that point. I understood. But no, seriously.
But no, doing meth and taking steroids just to get the hottest women. Yeah, that's what people are striving for now.
And not even that. Clavicular says you're not good enough. You need to do these things. You need to ascend. You need to look better, be better to get all these women. And that's not the case.
Right.
That shouldn't be the standard,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so interesting. I just feel like the internet just corrupts you so much. And yeah, kids, the younger you are, like you're a couple years younger than me, but by the time I was really on social media, I was probably like 13 maybe.
Yeah.
And that was like Facebook, and think about all the cringy stuff you posted on Facebook or early Instagram or whatever, like, a truth is or something, right? But
yeah.
It was a much more innocent. It was
Correct.
only the 50 people that you were friends with or whatever. It wasn't really like that. Or now, I mean, yeah, it's gone.
And now, like, I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see these kids who are in 6th grade hitting dab pens or vaping.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like you said, like the, Throwback Thursdays or the, slide up for a rate. It was all innocent stuff.
Yeah. And you heard about the kid that smoked weed in middle school, but that was like the bad kid in class, and he had an older brother or something, but like it wasn't
like he was almost
standard.
a loser, like stay away from that kid.
Exactly.
And now it's like, I need to be friends with that kid. Right. And it's terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. And obviously when you're young, you think you're smarter than everybody. I mean, I still think I'm smarter than everybody, right? And it's like in 10 years, I'm gonna look back and be like, you're an idiot. So when you're a kid and then you got all these people and think about how much unregulated internet kids are getting,
Oh, it's huge. Well, because you see these parents, right, who are like, my parents' age in their 50s or 40s having these kids, and they don't realize, like, when they think of TikTok, they only see the videos they see, like, of, like, I don't know, like, people falling down, or, I don't know, my mom watches, like, all these AI videos of, like, dogs or something,
right,
she's always
puppies,
laughing.
Cooking stuff.
They don't see Sophie Rain on there in a Spider-Man onesie,
right,
being all promiscuous,
sure,
grabbing your kids and saying, like, this is what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and this is another reason why I really wanted to make this happen. We kind of rescheduled a couple of times, and now I showed up late and whatever. But right, TMI a little bit here, but right, basically when you hit me up, I had made a vow I've not watched pornography in 2 months.
Dude,
which
that is awesome.
I've never done that since I was, I don't even know, 13 or something or 10. I don't even know, right? So sorry, Mom, but
no, I mean. It's awesome to admit that.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because even us in older age can still be controlled by these things.
Dude, it's this it's a drug. It's 100% a drug.
Yeah.
My body, I'll be like, it's like I feel restless almost. It's like because I'm wanting to do that thing, but it's like I'm not doing it. So it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've done that or experimented with that or not.
Well, man, so I was introduced to porn at 8 years old.
Crazy.
I really masturbated almost like, sorry, mom and dad.
I know.
You just said, right?
We have to have this conversation, but yeah, it is a little
But
awkward.
I masturbated almost every single day of my life because it was like a release.
Sure.
Like I didn't really get, like in middle school, I didn't really get
free dopamine.
like, right.
It doesn't cost any money.
It doesn't cost any money. You could do it. And as a kid, when you masturbate, it feels good. And you never felt something like that before.
Of course not.
Because you're 8 years old, even when you're 10, 11,
right.
And you haven't experienced life yet. So you say, yo, this feels awesome.
Right.
Why wouldn't I do it every day?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just actually stopped about a year ago. So even up until I was 24, I was still doing it all the time. And I had girlfriends at the time. We were doing things together, whatever.
Sure.
But even then, my mind was still like, no, I want to watch porn.
Yeah. No, I that's kind of how I feel as well. And you always tell yourself like, well, people back in the day was like, if you masturbate, then you're going to go blind, or they tell you these like, crazy things, or like, you're going to hell or whatever. And I was kind of like, I don't believe that. And I still don't think that masturbating is bad, but I think watching pornography or lusting after other people, like I said, I was engaged, right? So it's like, there's this whole kind of like pulling myself apart, and it's like, why am I doing this? So,
no, I could totally agree with you. I don't think the act of masturbation is bad. I see it seriously for a lot of people as like a stress reliever.
Totally.
Right. And the issue, like you said, is the porn. Mm-hmm. It's hey, instead of going to find a woman, to find a wife, congratulations on being engaged again.
Thank you.
To finding a girlfriend and wanting to have intercourse, make love, and do all these things, I'm not going to go do that. Instead, I'm going to go on my phone, see the most, like, all porn stars are pretty much hot. Like, we could admit to that, okay?
Sure.
I'm going to go to my phone, see the most 10 out of 10 baddest girls ever, get my quick hit of dopamine, and then I don't got to go talk to no more woman. Mm-hmm. I don't got to fear rejection. I feel good, and then I just go on with my day.
Right. And you can do that whenever you want. You can pick the 100 hottest people you've ever seen in your entire life.
Any fantasy you want. There's no like trying for it. There's nothing like that. It's instant. Mm-hmm. And the thing I even seen with these fantasies too is the more you watch porn, like the weirder and like more kind of hardcore your fantasies get, because you're so used to like vanilla things.
Sure.
And it's out there.
Right. You can keep pulling the thread and get deeper and deeper.
So masturbation isn't bad, but it's the porn that's bad. Like I would even say like Playboy magazines weren't even that bad. Like it was like a naked photo of a woman.
Very different. Yeah.
Sure. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but I think it's a lot better and a better alternative.
Sure.
Than, hey, I'm going to go scroll on Pornhub for an hour, go through 20 pages and find exactly what I want to find.
Sure. Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
And just to add on to that, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
I'm kind of going on a tangent now, but I'm so passionate about stopping this and stopping this industry, because then your standards for women become way higher than what standards really should be. Because now you're seeing all this porn. Like for me, it was however long, almost 20 years of me watching porn. Yeah. And I would see the baddest girls. So I would go and be like, if she's not a 10 out of 10 and she doesn't, want to do whatever to me, I'm not going to get with her.
Right.
I don't care about her personality. I don't care about this, because why would I? I have this on my end. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's these things that like, it's not even like objectively watching porn. It's the way that it changes your mindset to how you not only see women, but see relationships as well. Because if you're addicted to porn too, like you're going to want to probably have sex all the time with whoever. Mm-hmm. And then that leads to hookup culture. That leads to STDs. I'm a big believer in soul ties and like energy and all these things. So, and porn is that gateway for sure.
Yeah. And it's just like what you're saying with young men, I've had a girlfriend and fiance and all this stuff. So I never really felt I wasn't replacing a relationship with pornography, if that makes sense. It was almost like, and I still don't 100% see it as cheating, I would say, but it's definitely not good for the relationship. Yeah. But I still would see it as like you said, sort of the release or whatever you want to say, right? I sort of, again, thought of it as like a healthy way. It is healthy to do, to ejaculate is healthy, right?
Correct.
That cancer.
100%. Yeah.
What is it? Stand Up to Cancer just put out like you're supposed to like nut like 21 times a month or something like that.
For prostate cancer.
For prostate cancer, yeah.
Well, there's a difference, right? Like a little bit of TMI, but whatever. If I do need to masturbate or something, this might, I don't know if I should even be saying this or whatever, but I don't watch porn. I just think of past experiences I've had with people I've loved.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Mental beat, yeah.
Like a mental beat. I don't need these things on the screen.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've been masturbation and pornography free for about 2 months, and
which is awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It does feel, it's so hard, and but point being, so my fiance just went out of town this weekend.
Okay,
she's gonna be gone for like 5 days.
Yeah.
So this is legit the longest I will have gone in 20, almost 20 years, whatever, of not doing anything, right? And so this is like the test. And, we talked about before she left and everything. And, she's like, she's almost kind of being like, just, if you got to do it, just do it. But I'm like, no, I really want to try to like get through this. But it's fucking hard, dude. I just deleted all social media off my phone because I'm like, so that's the other thing. Not watching porn has been easy for me.
Yeah.
That has not been an issue. What I'm realizing is that my brain, when I'm scrolling through Instagram, because I've nerfed my Instagram like months ago, where I'm like, just hide this.
Sure.
And it's basically, there's not even any women on my phone, because I'm just trying to cut this out.
Yeah.
But I'm just scrolling, like trying to dig deeper to find, a woman doing squats or something. It's like my brain knows that like I can get this from this thing. So anyway, so I deleted all social media off my phone for this
Good luck.
5 days while she's gone.
Yeah.
I know. And so that has been better, but it's like every time, dude, you pull out your phone, it's like, oh, I can't do it. Like I'm so addicted to my phone. It's so crazy. You kind of pretend like, oh, I'm not really that addicted, or I go on it sometimes, but I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, addiction is just in many forms, whether it's your phone or it's a real drug or it's porn or not. First, I want to, you've been talking great things about your fiance, by the way. She seems very supportive, which is super important. Like she's telling you if you need to, you can, which is super supportive. And something that kind of came in my mind when he told me that, and something that I wish more men would understand is, when you are trying to quit porn, to not have shame in yourself.
Sure.
It's to have shame in that content and the people producing that content. Because the people producing that content essentially are like drug dealers, and then you're just consuming the drug, right? So who's the bad guy in the situation? The one that's supplying the heroin, or the one taking the heroin and that's addicted to it?
Right. Okay. And so this leads us into really why I thought you were coming on the show. Now, obviously, you've gotten so much deeper, but the adult film convention that you went to.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Because
sure. Yeah.
Right. You got into an altercation with a famous porn star.
Yep. Shout out Violet Myers. Just kidding. No shout outs.
Okay. But so what did you say to her? Kind of go through it. Let's break it down.
So let's break it down. I had the great idea to go to PornCon. I've been there before. I used to do pranks on YouTube. I actually, like 2 years ago, dressed up as a Mormon and went there. And I would talk to all these porn stars and make jokes and like put them on my platform and whatever. And that's before I found God. So that was a very different person than who I am.
Oh, really? Wow.
I found God very recently. I've always been a believer, but I never found him. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure.
And then we could get into that too, because that's a crazy story. So I said, you know what? I need to redeem myself a little bit here. When I was going to PornCon, obviously I was looking at all these girls and I was like, this is awesome. I was indulged in this lust, and I had a girlfriend at the time too. So I was like, there's a lot of broken men there. Like a lot of men who are going there because they're lonely. They're indulging in this lust. They're indulging in this sin. And it's just a terrible, terrible thing. Like when you go to PornCon, you know what you're going for.
Yeah. And I've never gone to that, but
I don't recommend it.
Do these people think that they're going to have sex with these women?
Yes. So some of the men I've talked to love these women. Like they truly deep down in their heart.
It's a relationship to them.
Correct. They think that this porn star or OnlyFans girl really likes them.
Right. And the OnlyFans part makes it even more realistic, because before you just watch the videos, now you're interacting with them, which in actuality is probably not. You're talking to a Bangladeshi guy, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so all these guys, a lot of the guys that I was talking to, I was like, what? Like, first you got to give them grace and you got to give them gratitude because they're broken. I was broken too.
Sure.
And I just straight up would ask them, what's your goal here? What are you doing here? And a lot of them are like, oh, to see my favorite porn star, to see the girl I love, and she loves me back, and we've been talking and all these things. And I'm like, no, like that is not the case whatsoever. They prey on your insecurity of your loneliness and your insecurity of how you feel about yourself, that they're going to say, oh, I love you and I deserve a man like you and all these things just to get more money out of your pockets. But in reality, you know, if you were to die, they wouldn't bat an eye. They're
right. It's like an elderly scam.
Literally.
I never thought of it that way. Oh my gosh.
It is because, okay, so me and my ex-girlfriend broke up a couple months ago after 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So she's awesome. She's amazing. I wish nothing bad upon her. She's the best thing ever. When we broke up, I was sad and I was lonely. Okay, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I went from hanging out with somebody every day to not ever seeing this person ever again.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, it's very hard. And I would never wish that upon anybody, but it happens. And these OnlyFans girls will literally tell you, they didn't do this to me, but I've seen it happen, where they're like, forget about your breakup. I want you.
Right.
You're safe here. Not only are you safe here, I'm going to let you like jerk off to me, like basically have sex with me without any repercussion, without any rejection, without anything.
Right.
And then what happens to that loneliness in you? That void of loneliness doesn't get filled with love. It gets filled with lust. You think it's love because you're lonely and you want like validation from a woman and they're giving you all this validation and telling you how you're the man and all these things you want to hear.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's just it's artificial.
Yeah, you're buying it.
You're buying it.
Yeah.
You're buying it. And deep down, you know what you're doing, but you know you're lost. And that's the hardest thing.
Right. Okay. So at the convention again, what did you say to her specifically?
Yes. So it wasn't me that went up to her originally. Okay?
Right. It was your friend, right?
It was my friend Danny Spud. Shout out Danny. He went up to her and he says, and I think this is a very valid question, by the way. What does your dad feel about you doing all this?
Right.
Okay. And unbeknownst to us, and I do apologize for this, I'll do it to her. Her dad passed away a couple months ago. Yeah. But you can't.
Sorry for laughing. That was.
No, it's okay because it's just shocking, right?
Yeah.
It's like a shock value.
You're trying to prove a point, and then
you're
like,
trying to prove a point, and then you say something. But whatever Danny said, that doesn't give you the right to put your hands on somebody.
Sure.
It doesn't matter who you are. So then she puts her hands on Danny, breaks his meta glasses. Danny goes away, and she comes after me. And in that meantime, I'm talking to the security guard. Okay, and he's already telling me, because of your hoodie that says Jesus saves, she doesn't want to talk to you. I see the camera. She wants no interviews with you. And I was like, well, she interviewed like 1,000 people. Why won't she talk to me? And he's like, no, just take the picture, put the camera down. And I was like, no, I want to talk to her. Like, what's going on? And then Danny does the thing. He intervenes. And then she comes after me. And I try calming the situation down right away. You can see it in the video.
Right.
I was like, whoa, let's calm down. Whoa. I don't want anything bad to happen, whatever. But I had to say, Jesus loves you. Because that's what I was there to do.
Right. That was sort of the point of the video.
That was the point.
Right.
So I had to get it out before the security guard.
He was more antagonistic, where you were just trying to be like.
Correct. Yep.
Just throw it out there, JC. Yeah.
So the bodyguard's about to Batista bomb me. And I'm like, oh gosh, okay. Violet, I just want to let you know that Jesus loves you. And I didn't say that in like a mocking or like sarcastic way.
Sure.
There's this thing that they say where you plant a seed. And sometimes it takes years for that seed to grow. But
Totally.
it does.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It does. And that's when she said, a whore, like he would love a whore. Satan loves you. And then she told me she was going to get a gun and kick me out of the convention and all this other stuff.
Whoa.
But again, I wasn't coming to
And you're
there.
like, yeah, Jesus would love a whore.
Literally.
It's documented.
He hung out with the prostitutes. He didn't agree with them. He said, don't do this anymore.
Right.
But I still love you.
Right. That's the whole point, is that, yeah, you could be any person and he'll still accept you. Yeah.
Correct. And there's, getting kicked out of the convention and having to deal with the cops and everything was just something totally different. But yeah, I mean, it's a scary world we live in. And a lot of these porn stars, right, or OnlyFans girls, I don't hate them. It's their actions that I hate. I love Violet Myers, but I hate what she does.
Sure.
She's still human. She's still made in the image of God. I just hate what she does.
Damn, God's caked up.
Yeah. And I think the main issue is
Sorry.
No, you're good. I think the main issue here too with Christianity is it's like nowadays, because I don't want to get political or anything, but with certain political parties, it's very frowned down upon. And a lot of people who are part of these political parties who claim they're Christian will judge the whore, will judge the gay person, will judge you for everything.
Sure.
Yet they're
even though they're actually gay themselves.
Or they're cheating on their wives or something, which makes no sense. A lot of Christians,
or their husband has giant fake tits.
Yeah, whatever. Or like a lot of Christians,
Yeah.
they're making it self-righteous to say, oh, God knows me and I believe in God, so you're wrong, which is the way you can't do it.
Sure.
Christianity, and following Jesus is all about love and forgiveness. That's literally like the two main things you really got to follow. You know, so even if you're gay, I still love you. You go be gay. I don't care. You know, I still love you as a person. You want to be a porn star, I still love you. But hey, I'm still going to try to guide you away from it. Because a friend that does drugs, I love my friend. I just don't like that he does drugs. So I'm going to try to guide you away from that.
Right.
You know, and I know I just mentioned like gay in that same situation, but
Sure.
I'm cool with gay people. Like I don't see anything wrong with it. If you truly love that person, and I know my God, Jesus Christ, loves everybody, he's not going to condemn you to eternity just because you love someone of the same sex.
Right.
And the way I think of this, and I'm a newfound Christian, so I could be totally wrong, but
Sure.
the way I think about this, okay, and I'm going on a tangent again.
No, I love it.
I'm so sorry.
This is great.
When the Bible was being written in ancient Greek and Hebrew and whatnot, the only thing that really mentions, you know, LGBT in the Bible is for a man not to sleep with another man.
Right.
And there was two reasons for that. Okay. One, it's because in ancient Greece, in order for a kid to go to manhood, he would have to get molested by a man.
Right.
So the Bible was like, that's messed up. Don't do that. Okay. And then, man, I forgot where. Okay. Yes.
Diseases or something?
No. Population issues.
Sure.
We didn't have 8 billion people 2,000 years ago.
Great point.
They said you need to repopulate our village as much as possible because we need to keep going.
And that's also why Catholics are anti birth control and condoms, right? Because they're like, we want as many Catholics as we can get. Same thing with Jewish people.
Yes.
Like I believe if you're Jewish, you're not supposed to sleep in the same bed as your wife when she's menstruating, and then she has to wait another week to like get cleaned, and then you sleep. So basically, you get to sleep next to your wife for 2 weeks while she's most fertile.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have more kids, you know. So it's like a way to get more followers, which. I mean, you could break down the Bible in a lot of different ways, right?
Of course, but
rules for certain things, like the pork thing, right? There was like diseases with pork now that's sort of clean or whatever. But so anyways.
No, but it's very true. And a lot of people need to look at the context of when the Bible was written. So that's something, again, back to my original point that we need to look at as being such an evolved species from when the Bible was written to say, hey, I know the Bible said this, but look at the context that it was in. So like, I know a lot of gay and lesbians, like I do, and they're happy. And I don't think my God, you know, Jesus would say, oh, you're happy? I don't care. You didn't listen.
Right.
Condemned for eternity.
That one thing.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like a lot of gay people, because they've been persecuted by the church and have been sort of ostracized from the church, that they automatically, it's like, oh, if I'm gay, well, then I can't
100%
be a Christian. Yeah. And so then because of that, fuck you guys for that. So I understand why people would be, you know, have a bad taste in their mouth with it. Yeah,
so that brings me back to that same point with the OnlyFans girls and these porn stars who don't see a way out and they think Jesus is this terrible person. It's not because of what Jesus did. It's because of what other people representing Jesus did to them.
Yeah, and also you're like, it's easy to push down those feelings when you're, one, making a lot of money.
Sure.
And two, being, you know, supported by the industry or supported by people who are also doing it, your friends, or, you know, it's kind of, you kind of go, oh, I don't really feel good about this, but well, whatever, you know, you can kind of, I just bought a new car, you know, it's easy to do that, but.
So like for me, I can never stop being a content creator because I've done it all my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So for these porn stars, same thing. It's hard to get out of that.
Right, or you do the Mia Khalifa thing, but that kind of didn't really work, or the whatever the one chick is, Lana Rhodes, same thing. It's kind of like it doesn't look.
They're always going to be remembered as that.
Right, it's hard to get that scarlet letter off you. So I understand that too.
And again, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, we all make mistakes, but these are mistakes we have to realize, and then that's what God is there for, to repent, right? Because if I cheated on a girlfriend of mine, terrible, okay, I wouldn't expect her to forgive me, but eventually I got to forgive myself, and I think that's the most important thing, is to not hate myself for it. Did I do something wrong? Yes, but I'm human and I'm flawed. Was it terrible? Yes. Should everyone know about it and be wary of me? Probably. But it's about forgiving yourself, and I think a lot of porn stars sometimes can't do that. And that's why Jesus is so important, because Jesus says it doesn't matter what you've done or who you are or what you did. You can come to me and I forgive you. And there's a second path. He doesn't say to go do it again. He doesn't say just because I died on the cross means you can go sin 1,000 times. He says you're forgiven for the sins that you've done, but now that you're forgiven, you can't do them anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's so interesting. Okay, so to bounce back a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think, because people are going to criticize you for this, I would say, I don't know what your comments were or not.
I expect it nonetheless.
But so what would your response be to someone saying, hey, you used to do prank videos, you're kind of trolling this person, you're sort of picking on her. What would the rebuttal be to that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. And that's just who I am. I've done wrong. And I think that's literally what I just said a couple seconds ago, where as a human being, the greatest thing about us is we're allowed to change. So like if you murder somebody, obviously you're going to be looked at as a murderer for all your life. Yep. But to you, you're allowed to change.
Right.
In the eyes of Jesus, you're allowed to change. Okay. So with these prank videos, I was hurt. Like this is when I was like super suicidal and I was depressed and I hated the world and all these things. So I would hurt people because I was hurt. So it wasn't until I started following God, I felt forgiven. But forgiveness doesn't come with, hey, I could just do this or everything's like fixed. No. A lot of people that I pranked, I texted, I called, I apologized. I said, I'm so sorry. All these things, and I meant it. Okay. Wow. Because I genuinely felt guilty. But it wasn't until I gave myself grace. Because the reason I would hurt people was, I already hurt these people. I might as well just keep hurting people because so many people are mad at me. I mean, this is just who I am. I'm a hateful, hurtful person.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't until I gave myself grace where I said, MJ, like, you can change. Like, you're human. It is okay to mess up. Like, this is my first time being 25. It's my first time living.
Right.
And when I started giving myself grace like that, not only did I give myself grace, my parents too. It's their first time having kids. It's their first time living. All the people, ex-girlfriend cheated on me. I texted her. I was like, hey, I'm cool with you. Like, I forgive you. Because guess what? I don't know why you cheated. I don't know why someone would do that. But it's a flaw, and it's probably comes from hurt from somewhere. And I'll never forget, but I'm forgiving you, not for you, but for me, for myself to move on, right? So anyone who does want to say you did this and you did that, I know I did a lot of wrong. I'm not a perfect human whatsoever.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, I've done wrong in relationships. I've done just terrible things, but so have they. So have you. You have done things you regret. We all have. We're all human. And I hate when someone says, 5 years ago, MJ did this and that. You don't know me anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you're allowed to change.
Documented where, before, if you used to be a piece of shit, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe people have the memory of it, but where you've posted it online. So
I'm glad I did.
Right.
Because people can see who I used to be, see what I've turned into now, and say, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. No, that's honestly awesome, man. Okay, let's lighten the mood a little bit here. I would say we're getting a little too deep. So, and we're at 30 minutes. That's perfect. Let's go back to some of the previous content you did when you were a kid, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what did you start out doing? What did you turn into? All that stuff.
So I did a lot. I experimented with so much. I started off with gaming videos. I was super into Vanoss gaming. I was super into PewDiePie and like H2O Delirious, if you know any of those guys. And my first channel was called The Real 8-Bit. And it was like my logo was like a unicorn. I don't know. I was like 12 years old. So me and all my friends would make like Black Ops 2 videos.
Nice. 360 no scope.
No, trolling videos. Funny enough. Yeah. So as I started like getting further into those videos, I was like, I don't really like this anymore. And then around that time was when like drama alerts started popping up. So I made a news channel and I started talking about like YouTuber news and like Leafy. I started doing like CSGO case unboxings and all that stuff. So I was like, I don't really do this anymore. I got super into SFX. So like Quarter Digital, super cool. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
No.
But SFX is basically like, okay, someone films a movie, who adds all the lightsaber effects and all the explosions, the green screens and everything. Interesting. So for about a year, I had this thing, I forgot what it was called. It was like Super Spectacular something. And I would make like Star Wars fan films. I would learn like how to like make real lightsabers like on like my computer and like cool explosions, use green screens, use everything. And I was like, this is pretty cool, but guess what? I want to change it up again. So who comes into my life? At that point, Logan Paul became huge. So I started doing daily vlogs. Okay. And this is when I started getting into like the vlogging and all that stuff. And I did that. Nice dad shit. Right. And I would like, it was actually so fun, man. I got like my high school involved. I don't know if you remember the Running Man Challenge. Like a bunch of my classmates and I did it. I think so, yeah. So I did that for like 4 years. Oh, wow. A daily vlog for 4 years? No, not daily. Okay. It was like once a week. Okay. And I met so many great people for it. I got bullied for it a ton, but that just comes with it, I guess. Yeah. High school trying to be a YouTuber and stuff. Yeah. Especially like back in the day. Now it's like, oh, that's so awesome. But back in the day, like if you were a creator, you were like bottom of the barrel. Totally.
Totally. I had a buddy who had a huge following in like middle school on YouTube, and then he was getting bullied, and then like freshman year or maybe sophomore year, he stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And like looking back, you're like, bro, if you would have just
kept
up with
going,
you'd be at the top. You know, it's so funny. He was even at the point where it's like, yeah, I would go to like Woodfield Mall, and people would like be like, oh my God, you're the dude.
Yeah.
You know, so like, but anyways.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, this isn't working out. I want to try something different. Like I always reinvent myself. Like I'm always changing content. It's just something I do. I don't know why I do it. I said, you know, there's this cool conspiracy theory from Shane Dawson that I listened to. I'm going to try to make a conspiracy video. Okay, wait, let me backtrack a little bit. Sorry. TikTok came out. My ex-girlfriend, not my previous one, like 7 years ago, said, hey, hop on TikTok. I started making these skits, like comedic skits called Annoying Things Parents Do. And it would be like, you know, like when your mom tells you to check in the drawer and nothing's there, but then she opens it and then the item is there that you're looking for. So I did like 100 of those, and each one was getting like 100K views, 100K views, 100K views, 100K views. So I gained like 15,000 TikTok followers, and I thought I was the shit.
Yeah, of course.
Because I spent all this time never even seeing 1,000, and then all of a sudden, so this is where it gets crazy. So then the conspiracy thing happened. I posted conspiracy. 6 hours later, it's got 10 million views.
Holy shit. What was the conspiracy?
It was if the world really ended in 2012. Like just something super random that I thought was just super interesting, okay?
Whoa, how long was the video?
Like 30 seconds. So this is when TikTok first came out. Within a matter of 3 days, I went from 15,000 followers to 600,000.
Insane.
Okay, I posted 4 videos in a row, and each of them got over 10 million views.
Oh my gosh!
So I became like the first conspiracy guy on TikTok, because this is when it like first came out. So I did that for 2 years.
Whoa.
And my ex-girlfriend that I dated for 5 years, she was super into like Sam and Colby, right? So she started telling me about like, you know, ghost hunting and ghost stories. So she started helping me with TikToks about ghosts, and then guess what? I started blowing up even more because now I'm becoming this guy who's talking about conspiracies and ghost stories and going on ghost hunts, exploring abandoned buildings.
Whoa.
I made a great Discord community of like 50,000 people. It was phenomenal, bro. I mean, some of the best times of my life.
Whoa.
So then around that time, I did that for 2 years. I stopped during COVID. Because now, instead of like talking about conspiracies like, oh, do we live in the Matrix? This is fun. People started taking it serious.
Yeah.
I started to be like...
You were talking about like Bigfoot before, and then now it
Right.
becomes like an actual conspiracy. Did this virus come from a lab? Yeah.
So a lot of the things I was talking about, I had to take a step back and realize like, am I having an impact on the world right now of like what people are like looking into?
With 1 million followers.
Because it's scary. And each of my videos was averaging over 1 million views.
Oh my
Every
gosh.
single one. Like I was.
What are you pulling in money-wise from this?
Nothing.
What?
There was no TikTok creator fund. No one was on TikTok yet because it was just coming out. I mean, this is like 2021.
True.
There was nothing here.
Right. It had just
It was like
changed
Charlie
from
D'Amelio.
Musical.ly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No one wanted to sponsor me.
But like
There was
brand deals, nothing? No?
nothing. No, it wasn't like how it was today.
Damn.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
sucks.
I wish, but I'm glad. Okay. So then I'm glad it didn't, because then like the COVID vaccine conspiracies and all these things. And again, I'm not going to tell my thoughts on it because it's stupid.
Right.
But then people started like becoming really like right wing in my comments, and I was like, I need to chill this out for a second because I don't want to be this guy. Like I'm not like, you know, Charlie Kirk talking about this stuff.
Right.
I was just a kid who thought it was fun, and I was gaining such a great following off of it.
Right.
And now
Flat Earth.
yeah, like Flat Earth in 2019 was just like a thing to poke at. It wasn't like a real thing, and now it's like mainstream.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then in 20
You're smart to actually realize that in the moment, though.
yeah.
Because you're 20 or something at the
I was
time?
22.
Yeah, so it's,
Yeah.
you'd feel like you'd just be high off of the clout, you know, like you'd think for you to be able to take a step back and be like, wait a second.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. If I didn't do it for so long and I just started and blew up, definitely. But I always did it
into
for
it.
the love of the game.
Wow.
It's just a passion of mine. I love the cloud. Don't get me wrong. Everybody does.
Right.
But I don't need it. I don't need it. Okay. So then I was like getting into Danny Duncan and like Balin Levine and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, let me go vlog. Let me go do some pranks, you know, get back into my old self a little bit. So within 6 months, my video gets like 8 million views, the one I got arrested for.
Wow.
I start popping on there.
And so why did you get arrested?
Yes, I vaped in a college lecture, and they arrested me for 3 Class A misdemeanors, which turns into a felony. So 2 Class A disorderly conducts, and then criminal trespass.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, because you didn't go to school there.
I didn't go to school there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you understand what was about to happen or no?
Well, I didn't. So the first 2 months, nothing happened. The first 2 months, I'm just chilling, like seeing this video gain views. And I mean, I'll be honest, I probably made $10,000 off that video.
Oh my God.
And I've never seen that much money in my life. I'm working a full-time job and I'm like, man, I made it. Like, this is it, finally. Like, so I'm chilling, like just like grasping it in. You know, me and my ex are celebrating and all these amazing things. Then I get a knock at my door while I'm at work.
Whoa.
I check the cameras. It's a detective. Oh, fuck. Because I don't even know what I did, you know? And they said looking for, and then my real name, I'm not going to put that out there. But yeah, so my dad calls me. He's like, yo, you need to call the lawyer. And we have like a family friend who's a lawyer, so lucky me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I talked to the cop. This is the situation. They're either going to come arrest you at your work today or you just go turn yourself in. And I'm like tweaking, bro. One of my coworkers was like an ex-convict. I'm asking him all these questions and everything.
And what do you work at a restaurant? What was it?
I sold cars.
Oh,
I was like a car salesman, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm just tweaking out, bro. And I'm like, this is messed up. My ex-girlfriend's freaking out. And I'm like, I just got to be a man. Like, this is it. Like, what else am I supposed to do? So I get there. I'm like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, yeah, 1 second. 2 detectives come out, put your hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent, anything, you know. And I'm at UIC jail at this point. So they put me in a holding cell. And I'm like, okay, I could handle this. I'm in there, you know, this is gonna sound so corny, but I'm in there acting like Andrew Tate. I'm like shadow boxing, you know, like doing push-ups, you know, sitting like this, you know, just trying to pass time.
Right.
So I was in there for 8 hours.
Like, can I go to the library? I want to start reading.
Yeah, right. So I'm in there for 8 hours. And I wasn't in like, they just took my shoelaces off. I don't know why they thought I was gonna kill myself. But they like booked me and everything, and they come in there. And they're like, hey, our systems are down. We have to transfer you to Cook County Jail.
Oh my God.
And for the viewers watching this, Cook County Jail is like the worst jail you can possibly go to.
Yes, definitely. That's insane.
So luckily, you know, I wasn't, again, in a cell or anything. I was in a holding cell for about 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah, I was in there for the weekend because court's not open on Friday or like the weekend. Yeah.
So they were trying to make like an example of you.
Correct.
Yeah.
They were trying to make an example out of me because they saw, hey, this guy got 10 million views. I want the hammer on him.
Yeah.
So no other YouTubers come here and do that.
Right.
So I was in there. It was so funny. I met 2 guys. One was in there for like domestic assault. Other one was in there for drug dealing.
Oof.
And they were like, yeah, what's your YouTube, blah, blah. So I'm telling them why I'm in there. And they're like, oh, bro, I got SoundCloud. Like when I get out of here, we got a collab and everything. Jeez. And I'm just giving them like my fake YouTube name because I'm like, oh, this is so bad, bro. But, you know, I don't want to get touched in here. So
right, you'd rather have friends than not have friends. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but luckily it was a holding cell, so it wasn't like too bad.
Because Cook County Jail, it's not prison, right? So you're in like a big communal sort of space.
You're basically in the place where like DUI people go.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, like I'm not in there with like murders and everything, but in that thought process, I'm not thinking that.
Yeah, I mean, you think you're going to like gangbanging.
Yeah. I'm over here. My parents are probably freaking out. I haven't texted nobody. So I was really trying to calm myself down. So anyways, I get out, go to court.
Oh, no. We're milking this a little bit longer. What was the food like? What was showering, taking a shit in front of people? What was that all like?
Well, okay, so when you're in a holding cell like that, it's not really like what you see on TV.
Okay.
Everything is pretty much just how you kind of have it. You're just kind of just staying there until you got to go to court and the judge releases you.
Metal bench, like what is it?
Yeah, metal benches, but then there was like a bunch of other like tables and stuff, and then like checkers and basketball and whatever.
Sleeping on a cot on a,
Yeah, just like a regular
bunk
like bed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not giving me anything here. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Make
trying
it sound
to.
Scary.
Yeah. Okay, so I was in there with 2 big dudes. And it wasn't scary, bro. Like it was just like a chill community thing.
Day one, I'm in there like, all right, where's the Aryan Brotherhood?
Yeah. No, it wasn't scary. It was just a chill. Like,
okay.
Now that I look back at it, there was nothing to be scared of. Mm-hmm. Like I said, like you go there if you get a DUI or something. Like it's
gotcha.
And it just sucked that it was just closed on the weekend. I got out like Sunday, so I was only in there for like a day or something, or into court. But
still,
yeah, that was scary in the moment.
So what did it cost you, all in all?
$10,000. I went to court for 10 months. I won't expose who my lawyer was, but he said, pay me under the table.
Wow. Worth it.
Well, he's like a lawyer for like, people who are like dealing with some serious crimes.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, this is just like a waste of my time. But
because he's a family friend, he helped
But
you
he's
out.
a family friend. So we would go in there and he would just talk to like the state attorney or whatever it was. He'd be like, yeah, my client's here. I'm not trying to be in here forever. Can you just book him or whatever?
Wow.
Not book him, and they would call me up first, and the school never showed up. But every time they didn't show up, I had to pay. And every time they didn't show up, the judge said, you got to come back next month.
So they did this all on purpose.
Yeah, and they prolonged it for 10 months.
Wow.
So all that YouTube ad, that's why I mentioned the ad revenue.
Yeah.
All that $10,000 gone. Yeah.
At least it didn't like bury you for 30 grand or something,
Yeah,
but still,
luckily,
that sucks. So did you spend all the money before that happened?
No, I mean,
you didn't like go on vacation or something?
No,
or?
no. So YouTube ad revenue comes like the next month after. So once I got it, literally like 2 weeks later, this happened. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so have you done any other videos like that, or was that sort of like, all right, I learned my lesson?
I wish I learned my lesson. I went harder. I was like, this is something that I love to do.
Yeah.
I'm making it. A lot of big YouTubers hit me up. Fred Beyer, Zach Ray, Kenel Joseph. Like I was like, I only had 30,000 like subscribers, but I was getting recognized by all these great people.
Cool. Yeah.
And I felt potential like for the first time in my life.
Wow.
And I enjoyed doing it. It was like a passion. It was really cool. And then I went to Woodfield Mall and I got beat up by a mall cop. Yeah, so that story, me and my friend did a fake Babytron prank because he looks like Babytron.
Okay.
Like identical.
Yeah.
Shout out Corey. He was my camera guy too. Great guy.
Shout out Shitty Boys.
Literally. Yeah. And I was with Danny Spud, who, as we know, is an instigator. Love him with all my heart. He's like a little brother.
Sure.
But the cop came and tried kicking us out. He instigated it. And the cop came after me because I had the camera and everything.
Okay.
And he like pulled my hoodie over my head.
Cop or security
Mall
guy?
cop.
Okay.
Yeah. Pulled the hoodie over my head, told me how I'm not shit. Like he was like saying these racial slurs in my ear, punching me. It's all on my YouTube still.
That's crazy.
And then that's when I realized I needed to slow down. That's when I realized, well, let me tell you, there's more to the story if you really want to get into it.
I would love to get into it.
Yeah. I was going through a lot at that time. This is like, again, when I mentioned before, not to get deeper or anything, but depression, suicidal tendencies, all this stuff.
And you're still in the relationship?
Still in the relationship, yeah. We broke up, I think, in January, so it's still very recent.
Okay.
When all these big YouTubers were like calling me, I kind of had an epiphany to, where were you guys when I was at my low? Like, where were you guys when you knew who I was? Because I know you knew who I was from other things and friends of friends and everything. You ignored me, didn't follow me back and everything. But right when you see you could gain an advantage out of it, like, oh, what happened with the cop? I want to know, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Then you call me.
Right.
And I felt disrespected by that.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple weeks later, I post on a story, hey, I need someone to come to Kansas, I think it was. I don't know the exact place. And I need them for a YouTube video. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. I'd love to come. Because not only like did I feel disrespected, I was still in the game. Like, there's always that thing, like connection and networking is the most important thing. So sometimes when you feel like disrespected, you got to like let it go.
Sure.
So I go there and I meet a great guy. I meet all of his like friends and whatever who was there. We filmed the video. It was a great video. And now keep in mind, I had to pay for my gas, my hotel and everything. Fine. I got an amazing chance to collab with one of like my idols.
Sure, yeah.
I asked, so this is when I had this thing called Patek Effect at the time. It was just like a YouTuber growth group that I started. And I was like, since I helped you with this, can you help me with Patek Effect? Like a quick 1-minute interview. He's like, yeah, bro, I got you. Send me the questions. I'll knock it out. And I'm like, this is awesome, bro. Like, this feels good.
This was all worth it.
Yes. Let me get a drink of water. Like, I'm yapping so much.
That's all right. Yeah, 43 minutes. We're good. We're cruising.
Okay. So I go home and I send all the interview questions. A week goes by, nothing happens. I double text, I'll triple text, I don't care. So for like 4 weeks, I'm texting all the time. Hey, no response. Okay. The video comes out. I watch it. I'm not in it at all. Okay. So this disrespect is building up from the disrespect that I felt previously from everybody.
So did he edit you out completely or did your part just not get in the video?
So let me tell you. So I text him again. Why was I not in the video? And I could take constructive criticism. Maybe I wasn't funny. Maybe it was like not right for the pacing or anything.
Sure.
He doesn't text me. His editor texts me why I wasn't in the video. And I was like, are you freaking serious? Am I?
He's like, bro, this guy keeps texting me, fucking tell him.
Yeah, like, am I below you where you can't just say like, hey,
Crazy.
bro, I just didn't think you were like right for the video.
So yeah, what was the reason? What did the editor say?
Just pacing issues.
Okay,
but that's not the point. The point is like the editor thing happened, okay? Then the Patek Effect thing happened. Never got an interview or nothing. So I'm feeling like all these ramps up of like disrespect. I'm already in a terrible mental state. And all these things start happening. A couple weeks later, a girl hits me up. I think she was 16. Saying, hey, cameraman is texting me trying to get with me right now.
Whoa.
Okay? text Canal. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you man to man. And I have all these DMs too. I need to talk to you man to man. And guess who responds?
Oh.
I said, I need to talk to you man to man. This is happening. I tell him the situation. I don't go public with it because I don't want to ruin somebody's career.
Sure.
This is a terrible thing. The girl doesn't want me to go public with it. She said, hey, I know you were just in his video. I thought you were friends with him. I just want to let you know the situation. I tried texting him. He didn't respond. Okay.
And you know this person, or it's just a random 16-year-old girl?
Random 16-year-old girl with screenshots, proof, I mean, receipts, like everything. And I didn't want to falsely accuse somebody, so I went really deep into it just to make sure before I texted Canal. I text him. He starts blaming me. Why is she texting me? I'm trying to ruin his career, all these things. So that was...
Nah, bro, I'm trying to protect you from this bad guy that's in your camp.
Okay, so that's like where that ego comes in, right? But besides the point, I crash out. Bad. I start exposing everybody on my story. Every single YouTuber I had a connection with, I start exposing Canal. I said I had enough. I said I have so much anger in my heart, I need a release.
Let's burn every bridge.
And I burnt every single bridge, bro. I exposed people for things they didn't even know I knew about them.
Oh my gosh.
I was posting on my story that like I'm in my Kanye era.
Damn.
It was a time to know who I was.
Oh my gosh.
And the crazy thing is of how much of an audience I gained from it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And the other crazy thing is because I was like going through like a hurtful time, so many people were telling me to keep going. So what did I do?
Yeah, right.
I kept going. So not only was I posting on my Instagram story, I made 20-minute videos on it, 2-parter. I had videos of all the YouTubers getting together, watching it.
Whoa.
And all these things. And I just, bro, because I was so disrespected, I felt like invincible.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, frick these guys. They better know who they're messing with, all these things.
Yeah.
So all that happens. Crash out era happens. I lose everything. And that's when I really stopped mic'd up because I was just so disrespected. And a lot of my friends who I thought were my friends turned on me. I have text messages from this one guy, won't name names, who said, yeah, we can't be friends with you because we're scared you might expose us. I was like, what does that even mean? Are you guys talking to children? So
right, if you don't have secrets.
But anyways, I felt very self-righteous. And now we can get deep a little bit.
And now you're getting all these views. So again, now you're feeling your ego's being boosted. Right. And
then a couple weeks later, the views died down. Everything dies down like it usually does. And I tried texting my friends and I realized I don't have any anymore. Because I lost it all. And this is, you know, I'm kind of glad this happened in this sense where this is when I was going to kill myself. Because I just felt this hole in my heart. I had everything in my hand, everything that I worked so hard for, and I threw it away. I lost every single connection. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was at a job that I hated. So yeah, I could just tell you that story too. I was just super depressed. I didn't know what to do. I got into a lot of drugs. Nothing hard, just, weed, getting drunk all the time. I'm just trying to really like hide my feelings because I didn't know what else to do.
And what is the girlfriend doing at this time?
She
helping you, enabling you, not understanding. I don't want to
answer that.
Okay.
But yeah, so all these things are happening, and no one really understands what I'm going through, and I'm just trying to hide it.
How's your relationship with your family?
So at the time it was bad. So this is like, again, like when I was just like a stupid kid just acting out. They didn't understand. I thought my parents didn't love me or didn't believe in me, all these things. So there's a lot to add up to this. It's very in depth of like what I was feeling at that time. I felt like my family didn't love me because they didn't understand. I felt like, even like my girlfriend like didn't understand because I had a hard time talking about my feelings. Every time, I think like any man would.
Yeah.
Anytime I did talk about my feelings, I would lash out. And no one gave me grace, which I wish they did, but they didn't, and that's okay. No one deserves to be yelled or screamed at. So yeah, there was this one night I was at work, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was just so like in a place where I didn't want to be. So I just left work without telling anybody, and I was going to kill myself.
Whoa. I
went home. I put like my Glock in my hand, and I was just ready. I was like, this is it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, all these things were added up. Like, I had so much fame, and I had everything I ever wanted. I have an amazing girlfriend who I feel like a loser now. And I think something really important to add too is like when the whole like red pill Andrew Tate thing was happening. So like I was super involved into that, like trying to be a better man and trying to do these things, and I couldn't live up to my own standards. And I felt like, male. Yeah. And I was just like, I think it'd just be easier without me here. Like I just lost everything. There's nothing else for me here.
So how long had you had the gun? How long had you thought about killing yourself?
It was a spur of the moment thing.
That was the first time you'd ever thought about wanting to kill yourself?
No, not first time. I definitely thought about it, for sure.
Over the years, or just leading up to that moment?
Leading up to that moment.
Okay.
Leading up to that moment. I was very manic. I was in a manic episode. There's a lot of other stuff that I haven't mentioned that I don't want to mention, but just a lot of like childhood trauma and things that were just coming up.
Gotcha. Do you think this was like a weed-induced psychosis kind of thing too, or you're just manic? It wasn't. You didn't have like a. You didn't go schizophrenic.
To be fully honest with you, I was doing like psychedelics at the time too.
Okay.
Like I was like really like into like all those things.
Sure.
And I just had a terrible group of friends around me, by the way.
Gotcha.
That were enabling everything.
Okay. Understood.
But yeah, I was ready to end it all. And I said, I've done shrooms. I've smoked a lot of weed. I've drank and drank and drank. What am I missing here? I said, if I'm going to end it all, I just want to relate to my life or kind of reflect on everything before I do. And shout out my two friends, Sam and Eli. They planted the seed, kind of like how I mentioned earlier, where for some odd reason, I said, I'm just going to pray to God. Like, if I'm going to end it all, I might as well just try one more thing, right? And I prayed to God, and it felt like someone was hugging me at that moment when nobody was there. And I bawled my eyes out. There was a lot that I regret in life, like besides just the things I was talking about, because if we went through my whole life story, we'd be here for 7 hours, but long story short, there was a lot I regretted in life, and I felt like I could never be redeemed or no one would ever love me, and that my parents were disappointed in me, that my girlfriend seen me as like this like low value man, and that was causing me insecurity and us to argue, and I was just like, I just wanted to kill myself, but let me pray to God first. So I pray to God. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm on my knees, like begging. There's snot coming out of my nose. There's like drool coming out of my mouth. And yeah, bro, it was the craziest thing. Right when I stopped praying, I don't know if I just remember it wrong, but I fell asleep just like immediately. I woke up the next morning and it just felt like everything was gone.
Wow.
Like I felt like, I wouldn't say I felt happy because there was a lot of work to do, but I remember just waking up and saying, I can fix this. And that journey is what led me to today.
That's incredible.
And you got to understand too, when I was growing up, I was super atheist. I was like, screw Jesus Christ. That guy does not exist. You guys are all.
Does your family go to church, or did you grow up?
Okay, so yeah, that's another thing I was gonna mention. I grew up in church, but my church was always about like money. So that put like a bad name of church in my mouth.
Yep.
And I was never really introduced to what like Christianity really meant. And again,
Catholic, or what were you raised as?
Christian Orthodox.
Okay.
So shout out my friends, again, Sam and Eli, for planting that seed, because they would see me drunk at parties and see these things. And these kids were like the worst kids ever. I smoked weed with them for the first time, like drank with them for the first time. They turned to Christ. And when they would see me, they would just hug me and be like, bro, you don't need to do this anymore.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, I was like, you guys are losers, bro. Like, I'm trying to party. Like, get out of here.
Right.
But yeah, so without them, I don't think I would be here. But
wow, that's incredible.
I woke up the next morning and yeah, I fixed a lot in my life.
Wow.
And it took a long time. That was 3 years ago. And it took a lot. Like, a lot of people think you can be saved and then everything just goes away. That's not how it works.
Right.
You still got to work on yourself. And I did. I worked on myself like I never have before. And I messed up a lot. Just because I was like entering this new era of my life. And I'm just so blessed that happened.
Wow, that's just,
Yeah, I went through, like, I quit YouTube for a long time. I went through a lot of, like, identity issues because I didn't know who I was. But those things take a long time to really find that out. And a lot of, like, I never really mentioned this, but with my ex-girlfriend, she didn't believe, she like, believed in God, but she wasn't, like, fully in. So that was really tough. And that was one of the reasons we did end up splitting, because I'm so, like, into my faith. And I'm like, this thing saved my life. I can never say that this thing doesn't exist. But yeah, there was a long time where I followed Christ, stopped it, went through the same thing again, not suicidal tendencies, but depression and everything. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm missing in my life.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's
deep story.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where to go from here. But
and I'm awesome. So glad to share it, because a lot of people, like we've mentioned this whole podcast, don't want to turn to Christ because they don't think they can be forgiven. They think it's fake, or they think like all Christians are bad. And I'm just so glad to have a platform now where God allows me to share my story and say, hey, I crashed out on all these people. I did all these terrible things. I fought with my girlfriend. I hated my parents. And now look at me. I love my parents. Like, they're awesome. And they were always just trying to put me on the right path. Of course, they're going to get mad at me if I'm getting arrested for YouTube videos, right? I still love my ex-girlfriend. I always will. And she just didn't understand, which is okay. Like, I'm not going to blame her for that. Mm-hmm. And the awesome thing is that a lot of these YouTubers who I cut like ties with, we're reconnecting too, which is just great.
Yeah, that is great.
I mean, it's awesome. It's actually super, super awesome. I have a lot of weird stories with God, and I could tell you one of them right now.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Are you a believer by chance? It's okay if you're not.
Grew up very Christian, and then in the last maybe 5 years, completely fell out of it.
Yeah.
Full blown crisis. What is real? What's fake? All that sort of stuff. But going with the no masturbating thing, I've sort of I'm searching.
Well, yeah. If I could just give you some unsolicited advice, real quick, don't follow the religion, follow Jesus.
See, but that's my biggest part with everybody who listens to the show. I talk about religion a lot.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
The hardest thing for me is, as we're looking at the Last Supper, that's hilarious. I just noticed that.
Shout out my guy up there.
Yeah. I believe that Jesus Christ was a man who, was born in Bethlehem and all. I believe that he was a real person, right? Yeah. But the hardest thing for me is to believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God and that he was not just a man who was lying, right? That is the hardest thing for me. Do I believe that the Bible has is a great thing to base your life on and it can help? I believe it in all of that 100%. Yeah. But just, it's that one thing, and I understand every Christian will say, you just need faith, right? That's what sort of everybody says. I don't believe that. And it's just so hard for me. So, and then the church that I grew up with, there was like some corruption stuff, and then you see this and that, and you're like, oh, everybody's just a fucking liar. And then, and then again, I'm 21 years old, and I'm like, I know better than everything. And so, anyways, and in the back of my head, you sort of always know, well, I used to have a relationship with God, and so I don't know. That's why I'm in this weird position.
Let me ask you something. Well, who's your favorite celebrity?
My favorite celebrity?
Yeah.
We'll say Joe Rogan, just because I brought him up earlier.
So you love Joe Rogan?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you watch him all the time?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that you basically worship him? You don't get on your knees and pray to him, but he's an inspiration. He's why you started this podcast. He's why you do the things you do.
Totally.
He's an inspiration. Okay. Let's take Jesus out of biblical terms for a second. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's say he wasn't the Son of God. Let's say he was just a man. Mm-hmm. That's it. Okay. Do you think Joe Rogan would see you and say, I'm going to die for this man? It's a serious question. Do you think Joe Rogan would die for you? Because there's proof of the crucifixion.
Right. Okay? I agree with that too, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. Okay. Would Joe Rogan come to you and say, I'm going to suffer this brutal death of getting stabbed, whipped, crown of thorns, being humiliated because I think it's going to help you in the future? Is he doing that to you?
No, he wouldn't. Nobody would do that.
Nobody would do that.
Right.
So that's something that I had to come to terms with myself when I loved Kanye West or whoever. I was like, I'm following Kanye West and what he has to say, but would he die for me? Would he say, I'm going to suffer this brutal death and this brutal murder right now on this cross in front of the whole world because I think it's going to make someone a better person 2,000 years from now? Would he do that?
Right, no.
You know who did do that?
JC.
Jesus Christ. So take away everything that you even know about the Bible. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the factual evidence of what he did. And you can say that's a fact, right?
I would say that that's a fact, yes.
Yeah.
But the resurrection,
there's
doubts in my mind that he...
Well, how could a man rise from the grave?
Sure. Walking on water, Lazarus, all that stuff. There's these things where you go, I just don't know. And then, when he ascended into heaven after 3 days or whatever, right? They say, there were 79, accounts of it, but it's like, you don't know any of those people.
Yeah.
It was 2,000 years ago. The Bible, most of the Bible or the New Testament was written like 300 years after Christ.
Sure.
Right. So, and I understand in like context of like historical documents, that's actually pretty recent. Like Alexander the Great was like 500 years after he was alive or whatever. Yeah. So, I've read all these books. I've done it.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, let me ask you a couple more questions. I just want to pick your brain.
Please. Yeah. That's why I'm here, man.
Yes.
I'm telling you, literally like a week after some of these things have happened, you DM'd me, I believe, right? You hit me up to do the show. So it's like...
Only you and George responded to me over the 100 people I DM'd, by the way.
That's hilarious.
So take that as a sign. But, okay, let's talk about the resurrection for a second. I'm no biblical scholar.
Yeah, me
I just want to make that clear. It's impossible for a man, as we know, to raise from the dead.
Yeah.
Could you agree?
I agree.
Okay, cool. How possible is it for a disciple to move a 2-ton stone from the tomb and steal the body?
Another valid argument.
How possible is it for a couple fishermen, poor disciples, can go and get past 2 Roman guards, move a 2-ton stone, and then move the body?
Sure.
Okay, but wait, there's more.
Why not? You pay the guy, you get 10 people to move it, you pay off the guards.
Sure.
I mean, it's possible.
Sure.
It's possible.
Okay. What do you hate?
What do I hate?
Yeah. Give me one thing you hate or just strongly dislike.
I'll say hypocrites. I don't know.
Okay. So would you help a hypocrite for a certain amount of money that wasn't $1 million?
Okay.
So
but the Romans didn't hate Christ.
The Romans hated the movement.
They hated
the Romans and the Jews hated.
The Jays hated Christ. The Romans didn't want there to be chaos in one of their provinces.
So look, all they had to do, right, for no chaos and for the movement to stop and for the Jews to, do what they have to do, is just present the body. Why didn't they? All they had to do to stop the movement that not even the Romans, but even the Jews, all they had to do to banish Christianity forever and said, this guy's a freaking fraud, was show a body. Open the tomb. Show me the body.
Right.
Where was it?
Sure. They sold the body. They burned it. I don't know.
There's all these things that we can think of.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Okay, so then there was also... the Bible says there was also 500 witnesses. There's nothing outside of biblical context that says that. So sometimes with the Bible, it's going to be biased. I could agree with that. But again, all Rome had to do was show the body. And then that movement would be gone forever. Right? So not only do I just have so much faith that did actually happen, because me and you are still talking about it today, which is
2,000
crazy.
years later. Yeah, no, it's true.
Which is crazy. Okay.
And it's clearly the best religion out of the big
you could say
5
that,
or whatever,
yeah.
right? I mean, it feels like the most forgiving, right? It has the best teachings. Maybe Buddhism, you could argue.
Sure.
I don't know enough about that, but...
Okay. So we just went through the resurrection,
Yeah.
brought up some great points. Now I want to talk about the Bible itself.
Okay.
If I wrote a book today and I said, Drew, take this book and write in it and pass it down for 1,500 years over 3 different continents. How possible is that?
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. It's like the longest living book and all that shit. I mean, I understand.
It's very nuts. And you are right. With the resurrection and stuff, there's a lot of proof, but then there's a lot of is it really
There's the Shroud of Turin, it's the face of Christ,
Right.
all that stuff. There's reasons for both sides.
But the main thing that the Bible says is to have a relationship with Christ. It doesn't say, if you don't believe in the resurrection, you're going to go to hell.
I understand that.
It doesn't say that.
Yep.
Because so all these things can happen. And let's say they're all fairy tale, whatever. The main thing that I like to focus on is this man, Jesus Christ, who didn't even know me, said, I'm going to go to this cross and die for people I'll never meet in my entire life. And even if he was schizophrenic, that's still such like a selfless thing to do. Would you ever do that?
Right. No, I would.
Now let me
never
ask
do
you
that.
this, okay? Out of the so many disciples, would you die for a lie?
Great point.
Would you?
No.
Would you? And not even die. These guys were brutally murdered.
Yeah, right. Hung upside down on the cross, all that stuff. Yeah.
Terrible things. They
Yeah.
said, denounce that Christ rose from the dead or we're going to kill you. And all they had to say was, okay, he didn't do it.
Okay, but counterpoint. Were these guys kind of living cult leader lifestyles where like everybody was loving them and would there be a reason to stick with the lie to
Sure,
the point where you
sure.
get kidnapped and then killed?
Yeah. So that's a great question.
They probably have their own little following, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I mean, we can look at like Jonestown and all these things where all these things happened, or like Eternal to Take, the Louis Vert album,
Yeah,
or
I
whatever
know.
that cult was or anything.
Yeah.
And so that I have to say, okay, let's say it was like a weird cult following or just something like that. In my head, these guys died years later, and I don't know. It's like such a great question that's so hard for me to explain of how I think about it. But like things for like in Jonestown where their leader told them like to kill themselves.
Totally. Very different.
For the Eternal to Take, they said, the comet's here, time to end it all. Jesus never told them to do that.
Yeah.
He never, I don't know that he did, but from what we know,
He's saying, no, I'm going to die for your sins. Yeah.
he said, spread my message. And what was his message? what does the Bible say? You said it yourself, love, forgiveness, all these things. Eternal take was like, oh, well, the aliens are just going to come get us. Or Jonestown was like, everyone's like messed up or whatever. So it's hard for me to believe that a cult leader would be on like this such loving message. And then these disciples would die for him unless they truly saw something that they could not explain.
Yeah, no, I know. And I've had moments in my life where I feel like I'm maybe not talking to God, but, you know, I've felt where I've had moments where I feel like God is with me or whatever the situation is, right? I don't even know if I could say it right now, right? But I've had that feeling before, so I understand that. And so then again, for the last 5 years, you go, oh, well, maybe there's, you know, the universe, right? And then you sort of are doing all that sort of woo-woo hippie shit and stuff. And so that's kind of where I'm at.
Can I have a rebuttal?
Sure, please.
When you think of God, what do you think of?
I think of an all-powerful force, you know, that created the universe.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So is it really hippy dippy woohoo stuff, or is it God talking?
I totally agree.
To me, God is not a man like everyone thinks he is. He's not some guy in the sky controlling things on a computer with a white beard and everything. God is everything.
Yeah, God is us. God is right. I mean, you've done mushrooms, right? You've done psychedelics, so you understand where that all-encompassing feeling of like, oh my God, we are all connected.
So God is love, but he's also hate.
Sure.
So when I think of Satan or the devil, people think he has authority. He has no authority at all. God casted him down, but he didn't say you're going to be the ruler of hell or whatever. No, you're going to suffer down there. Like, that's where you belong.
Right.
But I don't believe the devil has any control over anything. I think we live in an evil world that the devil has nothing to do with. We have free will, so we just do terrible things. But God is part of everything. Because, okay, when I was going through my depression and everything, you could say that was the devil. But I don't believe it was. I think he was God. He was breaking me down to make me the man I need to become. But on social media, what were they telling me? Why would God give you depression? He doesn't love you. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. That's Satan or whoever you want speaking. You got to go take drugs and go to therapy and all these things. And I was in therapy for 4 years, by the way.
Oh, wow.
But like all these things. Could you imagine if someone came to me and said, hey, you're going through a rough season in your life right now because it's going to make you the man you want to be?
Right, read the book of Job.
Correct. But I wasn't even religious at that point. Sometimes you just need to hear things and be like, wow, maybe this is right.
Wow.
Maybe this is correct. So now when I look back at it, I am so blessed to be able to be spreading the gospel and like my mindset and my journey because God broke me down and he said, I'm going to make you the man you want to be, but you're going to have to go through hell for it. Because I would sit there and I would say, like, I believed in the universe. Like, I was like a big, like, you know, Buddhist or whatever. Because that's what Logan Paul believed, and I was a big follower of his, right? Worshiping him, whatever. And I would
such a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and I would like tell myself, like, put me through anything you want to put me through as long as I get where you need to put me. And I didn't realize that whole time I was talking to God. And God was like, all right, watch this.
Whoa.
God says, okay, you want to speak to millions of people and change their hearts like you want to. You don't know it yet, but I know that's what you want. I got to put you through these things first because you're never going to understand what they're going through unless you go through them.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, I mean, the devil has no authority over my life. When I started telling myself that, by the way, during my 3 years of growth, and I started saying, you know, people say, oh, I have depression. I don't want to get out of bed right now. Do you understand how bad depression really is? And you're putting it on a pedestal and seeming like it's like some badge of honor. Like it's so glorified in the West. Like freaking, I was watching Tangled or Frozen and like Olaf had anxiety. I'm like, what are you teaching these kids that having anxiety is it's okay? It should be something that's frowned down upon. Do you understand?
Yeah, it's not cute.
It's not cute. It's not like something like you go on social media and you see a meme and it's like, oh, when the depression hits you and you like comment, oh, this is so me. You're feeding that.
Right.
You're feeding that depression inside of you and you're making yourself more depressed. You don't even realize it. When I was super depressed, you know who I would listen to all the time? Juice WRLD, X, all these depressing songs. I started playing happy songs and guess what? My mindset started to shift.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, man, I hate my life, no matter what I was going through, I started to say, man, I love my life.
Yeah, it's great. And I think like scientifically, like if you actually like make yourself smile, like it releases chemicals in your head that like make you feel happier, whether
100%.
it actually makes you happy or not, but it's like, yeah.
And you know, depression is very comfortable. It's a very comfortable place to be in. And I think that's why people are so scared to get out of it. But there's a great other side to it where once you get out and just how amazing I feel. And, yeah, you know, and your tongue is stronger than a sword. It says that in the Bible, or the things you say is what you become. And the more you tell yourself how depressed you are, and even in like funny settings, you don't realize that your subconscious
is picking that up and reinforcing it.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think, that's why the Bible is just such like, even if you don't believe, it's such a good guidebook, because it says treat everyone with forgiveness and gratitude and love. And it's not saying that because there aren't bad people or there are bad people. It's saying that because they're flawed and they need love. If someone just showed me love in my life, maybe I wouldn't be suicidal. I didn't know what love felt like.
Wow.
I had a girlfriend. I had all these things, but due to like past traumas, I didn't think that shit was real. I was like, no one can ever love me. And why did I think that? Because that's what I kept telling myself.
Right.
You understand?
Wow, dude. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you figured yourself out this much.
Yeah, man. So that's why it's so important. And that's why like the Bible, and if you look in my room, I've read over like 100 books. Okay. I'm a huge reader.
Wow.
And all I would do was read self-help books because I wanted to like help myself. This was in the 3 years I was growing. And I read a ton and a ton and a ton and a ton. And then when I started reading the Bible, I was like, wait a minute. This self-help book just told me the same thing. This self-help book just told me the same thing. So all these self-help books that you're reading are literally being derived from the Bible itself. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So when Jesus says show people love and gratitude, no matter what the case is, he's saying that because everyone's flawed. You never know who's suicidal. You never know when someone's aunt dies. You never know when someone's mom dies.
Right.
When someone acts out of anger, it's never personal. It's always because of something that's hurting them, and you got to show them love and grace because you don't know when you're going to save that person's life or not.
Wow. I know I've been working on trying not to like honk at people in traffic and stuff, and just
it's hard
trying to use
it's so easy to be negative because we live in such a negative world. You go on TikTok, you're seeing all these things about people dying, or the news about rapes and murders and clavicular and the drugs and all these things, and it's so easy just to be mad at everybody. Yeah,
dude, when all that Somali daycare shit was happening in Minnesota, I would literally get home from work and then like go to the bathroom for 10 minutes and then just get like enraged and just be like, what the fuck? And like, so that was another thing I had to just like hide, get this out of my life. Why am I upsetting myself for no reason?
So have you ever heard the saying, like, who you surround yourself with is who you become?
Sure, yeah.
It's not just physical people. It's the music you read, it's the videos you watch, it's the music you listen to, the people you watch, the books you read. Everything is that person. You don't even realize that. People think like when you think people, you think it's physical, but it's literally everything you surround yourself with is who you become.
Right. Subconscious or not.
Yeah. So you're having all this hate, but why? From that video.
Right.
In that video
Fox
was
News, CNN. Yeah.
It was a hateful message, like, oh, the woke libs and all this stuff. So it makes you mad at each other. But imagine if it was more of like, hey, they messed up, but let's forgive and let's love and let's show them grace. And both sides were like that. Where would we be in humanity right now? Where would we be instead of like, okay, look at like Nick Fuentes saying the N-word and causing all this division. All these white self-righteous people are like, but imagine if instead of that, we showed everyone just love, just one at a time, and united. It doesn't matter what skin color you are or what race or sexuality. Literally, we all come from the sperm. Like, we're all the same. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yeah, and that's why America is the best country in the world, because it is the melting pot of the combination of all these different people and all these different ideas, which is actually a good example of being Christ-like, right?
Being Christ-like. Without Christ, America wouldn't be a thing. A lot of the world wouldn't be here without Christ. Yeah. He had such an impact on the world as well.
The Western
world.
But
again, like with the Western world, there's just so much division. It's just terrible. Everyone's at each other's throats. Everyone's mad at each other. These gas prices are rising and people are mad at their bosses and their employees when it's like we should be mad. We're mad at the wrong people.
I agree. We should be mad at Israel. Okay, we're going to end on that one. I'm sorry. MJ, this was so awesome, dude. I would love to have you on the show again. I would love to do something with you in the future. There's so much more to
talk about.
I know, man. You're an onion.
Sorry.
That's such funny timing. Okay. I always tell people to shout out their Instagram and stuff, but you have you're following Dwarf's Mind. So if you still want to tell the people where to find you, shout it out.
Shout out MJ Patek. I actually just recently, and then we could end it. But I recently started Protect the Youth. I am also just giving relative advice, like I gave in this podcast.
Does that come from George's For the Youth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. George is such a pioneer. And he doesn't even realize it. Sorry.
When I first met that dude, sorry, I know I tried to wrap this up, but I first met George. And
I could talk all night, bro.
I was like, this dude is going so far in his life. I could just tell, like, he's so serious about it. And I told my fiance, I'm like, I need to hitch my wagon onto George. Like,
he's awesome.
He's
awesome.
Anyways, so I feel the same way with you too. So
thank you. I'll be here. My name's MJ Patek. Protect the Youth.
and just save everybody. I mean, everyone needs a little bit of love in their life. So,
but YouTube or videos, where do you post? Like where should people follow you?
Instagram, TikTok. I haven't posted on YouTube in over a year.
Oh, wow.
I plan on it, but I just like my short form stuff right now.
Okay, cool. Do you have like a seminar or a class or something like that too you're doing?
No courses I sell, no seminars.
Because I like you, but I feel like I'm like, is there something he's trying to, is there an agenda here?
There's no agenda, bro. Like,
that's why I brought up the whole, like, are you being a piece of shit by, like, razzing Violet Myers, but you seem genuine.
Yeah, there's no agenda here. I'm here to spread the message of love in the gospel because it saved my life and I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
I hope to do some motivational speeches and stuff one day, like in front of a crowd. It would be so awesome for me to do that.
Yeah.
But whatever God puts in my way.
Which is very doable.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Go back to UIC.
Yeah. Good luck. They'd arrest me on spot. But yeah, no courses, no agendas, nothing like that.
Cool. You're the man. We are out.
Ladies and gentlemen.